The moment I popped my head inside this one, all I could look at it and think was, it's about time! Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd with Bish's RV, down here seeing what's newest, latest, and greatest from the Rockstaff division of Forest River, Rockwood and Flagstaff. I saw this new mini light, 2517S, and I said, camera's going on that one, baby. This is a good floor plan. Now let's go ahead and just rip the Band-Aid off. It is absolutely going right after an Imagine 17 MKE. Let's just get that right on the table. But the thing is, there's tons of people making a floor plan like this now. But in typical Rockstaff doing Rockstaff things, they don't do it exactly like anybody else. First of all, one of the key major things they did here, very crafty, very shrewd, they put the refrigerator in the slide out next to a big 3-seater sofa. And when that opens up with the bed out the way, with a daytime Murphy sofa, double Dinofa situation, it feels huge inside this thing. But like all mini lights, this thing is just under 26 foot, and with the weight categories and everything, I think very nicely qualifies as half-ton towable, and that is where they're really so good. They find a way to be the same size as everybody else, but with just more widgets and whiz-bangs and all kinds of stuff, like a 12-volt entertainment system, like standard tank heaters, belly, radiant barrier, TPMS, Goodyear tires, dual Asdel, partridge, and a pear tree, and this year, they kicked it up a notch like Emerald Lagasse, and they gave it an 1800 watt inverter instead of 1000. So if you want to stop and run a coffee maker in the parking lot of Wally World, well, you can do that, and it's not going to be a problem here. That 3-seater sofa also has a pair of mini lagoon tables, but what's brilliant again is they're mounted to a wall. They're not mounted to the sofa, so when you pull that ripcord recliner and kick back, you don't end up with your dinner plate getting dumped in your lap or your sweet tea getting spilled all over the place. And I know it sounds funny that some Yankee boys talking about sweet tea, but I spent some time in Georgia, and the stuff is delicious. You can practically chew it, and I love it. We're going to see some good with some bad. And if you appreciate that, hit that subscribe button. Let's get rolling. And I mentioned how it's, their version of a popular floor plan. It's not necessarily a brand new original, but that maybe this is your first time seeing something like this. I don't know. So what I don't want to do is I don't want to skip over anything. I'm going to do it Steven Tyler style, where I don't want to miss a thing. And I'm going to cover all the things. Maybe you didn't know that mini lights don't tend to use floor heating vents, and it's a marine woven kind of hybrid style flooring over there in the side. So basically carpetless and easy cleaning, also very pet friendly. And this sofa over here is a departure even for them. Because this RV doesn't have any kind of traditional dining, it includes a pair of those lagoon tables, but notice how they're bracketed against the side walls inside the slide box. So if you do kick that recliner back, once again, you don't dump your Kool-Aid all over your lap. It's a small but brilliant little shift in the RV design overall. I really prefer the lighter color palette in these. I think it opens everything up, and when we spin around the other direction, you're going to see where they put the refrigerator is another reason this RV feels bigger, and where they put the refrigerator is another reason the toilet space in the bathroom does not suck eggs. So I was pretty happy to see that. Now, everyone has their own opinion. My personal opinion, I'm not claiming to be an authority in my way or the highway. I think that Rockwood and Flagstaff have the best style of Murphy bed design. You will see later on, this is a 60 by 74 Camp Queen. I actually grabbed a measure and checked it. I was really hoping it'd be one of their crafty 80-inch long True Queen beds. It's not, but you may notice too how it does have a privacy curtain. You see the track up there. Notice how they still included a couple central air ducts over here on the bed side of this thing. And you do have the ability to add that additional XL vent fan up here. And anytime you get the big fans, you auto-magically get the roof vent cover straight from the factory on these, which is something that they do that I really like. Now, I think for the most part, I don't think I'd, if it was just like me and the wife camping, I don't think I'd put the Murphy bed away. I don't think I'd put it in sofa mode like we're looking at right now. I would just leave it in bed mode most of the time. And then for travel, because I'm eyeballing it, I'm pretty sure to close the slide, you're going to have to put the Murphy bed away. For travel, I just put the bed away. Or if it's a rainy day and we're stuck inside and need space. Or if, like, one of us wants to stretch out over here on this extra long triple-seater couch and the other one wants to sit somewhere else. I've got the TV kind of, angled halfway between the two of us right there. It's a model that lets you, like, entertain some friends or go solo or couples camp. Like, It's just a really nice thing. And the fact that they got all this done under 26 feet is pretty awesome, if you ask me. Now, that is a 12-volt entertainment center. The TV has an integrated sound bar, basically, so all the sound and everything comes right through there. Down below here, you see your solar charge controller. These have, by default, 200 watts of factory solar, although they do give you some factory expansions on there. And you see that they're still including that, they call it the rving, but the LCI command center, basically, where if you want to operate a bunch of stuff off your phone via Bluetooth, you can. But the RV still has a physical switch panel right by the door, which is, I don't know, kind of handy. Now, they didn't go with electric space heat and fireplace right here. They went with maximized storage. Do you think that's the right way or the wrong way? Like, do you prefer more storage down there or a fireplace? I seem to get a lot of mixed results on that. Now, before we get back to the kitchen, I do want to mention that's a 15,000 BTU air conditioner factory standard. And they're using all lumber core cabinet construction styles and rails. So it is, a wood core with screws actually going into it. And in typical fashion, like, yeah, they weren't the first ones to come out with this floor plan. They're not even being shy about it. But I think it's really smart how they included that little pop-up power tower over there. Some manufacturers that build this model, they don't give us any power in the corners. Some only give us power under that overhead cabinet. And that's an awful long dingle-dangle for a, appliance cord, basically. That dingle-dangle, obviously a very high-level technical term. Now, in a few minutes, I'm going to crack all the things open, look at all the storage. You will actually see there's a number of cabinets here that I don't open because there's really no storage behind them. And you're thinking, what kind of stupid waste is that? There's an outside camp kitchen down there under the interior kitchen counter that is eating up that potential space. So you got to remember how knee bone plays in with leg bone, as it were. If I'm going to be really picky, I feel like maybe there's somewhere they could have added a little bit more campside window coverage. But remember over here, you do have that camp kitchen door that flips up. So maybe that was a problem. But I don't know if it's possible. I don't remember what's on the other side of this wall. A little more campside window coverage would be welcome in my account. But I do appreciate how they did put that full blackout shade in the entry door over there. Now, in order to get this footage and do one of my Burt Reynolds demos for you, I am going to have to flip you over into wide angle mode. But this will show you how this all works. And this is where I was saying this is a one-piece, easy up-down Murphy bed system. It is a Camp Queen. I noticed basically my feet, like head to toe on this thing, I'm the exact same size pretty much as this mattress right here. And even as a bigger person, I'm okay if my feet hang off the bed a little bit. It's not my favorite thing, but I can deal with it. But some people really hate that. So that's why I like to point it out in my videos. Now, there are a bunch of outlets all around the RV that'll say inverter circuit. And one of the outlets that I focused in on there at the headboard of the bed, that's one of those. These have had a 1,000-watt inverter for several seasons now. Mini Lights have. This year for the 24 season, they bumped that up to an 1,800-watt inverter, which I think the big change there is that we'll do things like let you run a coffee maker. Now, it's not tied to the microwave. They don't wire into the microwave, so it can't run that. But, a coffee maker, that is kind of a more important feature for a lot of people there. Now, you may notice how that refrigerator door swings both ways, which can be, if you're standing in the kitchen, you turn around, it might make more sense to open it like the door swinging open toward the sofa. But if you're coming in from outside and want to grab a drink, it makes more sense that it swings open toward that wall. So, yeah, I could see that. That would make a lot of sense to me. Now, I got an idea, because this is a deep slide, and that refrigerator is not as deep. What if there was some kind of open shelf storage back here? I would love that on the inside of the RV. To me, it just makes a lot of sense. I know sometimes Rockwood will do some outside storage stuff. The way this one's all jammed and parked in here, I really couldn't get a good look over at the other side of it. But I think that maybe opening that up could work pretty well. Although, again, I don't exactly think we're hurting on storage over here in this department. And I kind of like how they didn't cut that down. They didn't angle that. They left the countertop square. And you know what? It looks a little bit plain vanilla, but it is going to be ultra functional. By the way, these little pop-up power towers, when you push them in the down position, the top of them is also a wireless phone charge pad, which I think is pretty cool. Now, there is a sliding door you see right there, kind of closing off the bathroom. And most manufacturers, where that vertical pantry is, a manufacturer will often try to put the refrigerator there. But because Rockwood didn't do that, they had extra width to play with around the toilet. And I tell you what, I was very pleasantly surprised with the total space that I had around that thing. I did not really feel super cramped in or anything like that here. Also, typical Rockwood doing Rockwood things, they always find a way to include like a little more storage in their bathroom. You do have a full medicine cabinet behind the mirror right there, and this is a rectangular shower. It's not the largest I've seen, but you know what? It should get the job done. And one of the other things that I noticed is with the vaulted ceiling they have, like it's only a 6.5 foot sidewall, but the little ceiling mini vault they have leaves me just enough room to put my head up there and not necessarily have to I don't have to bonk my head on anything. And they do still have the AquaView shower miser in there, the water saver system. And the XL vent fan here in the bathroom, that is a standard thing that they've been doing for a long, long time. And it baffles me that more manufacturers have not jumped on it. I've yet to talk to a single person who's like, no, I don't want a bigger, better bath fan. It's just one of those handy things that you're never going to regret having it. Maybe you don't always necessarily need it, but you're not going to regret having it. Now, I haven't checked yet, but I have a theory. I don't think the bed's going to be functional in transit. Let's find out. Yep, that's what I thought. Absolutely, positively not gonna do it. If the sofa won't go down, the bed won't go down. It's just that simple. That is a full, deep rack and pinion slide, by the way. Some people sometimes ask me what slide mechanism is on an RV, and they don't always know how to identify themselves, and I'm not going to be able to get you a good look at the other side of the RV, so there you have it. But what's great is with this slide closed, it is just a straight catwalk down to the kitchen and the bathroom. Obviously, the refrigerator is travel accessible. So if you need to stop, grab yourself a sandwich, maybe after a long day driving, enjoy your morning constitutional or something like that in the Walmart parking lot, you can do her. Now, while I'm running the slide out here, a question for you. What if somebody made a no-slide version of this that obviously allowed the bed to go down? In case you're wondering why the lights flickered, it's because my finger slipped off the switch. But what if there's a no-slide version of this that still had an operable Murphy bed? Is that something you'd be interested in? And with this one measuring tip to tail, tongue to bumper, 25 feet, 11 inches, and maxing out just over 7,600 pounds total GVW after cargo, I think that if you got a tow package half ton, generally speaking, you're going to be fine here. There are some very rare instances where that may not work out. Or if you're going to go through some major elevation changes, that may not be the way you want to go. One of the things that they, in a rare move by them, they did discontinue the champagne exterior package. So all of these are going to be that white skin exterior. Now, again, Rock Staff doing Rock Staff things. They're sticking with the 30-pound propane tanks instead of the 20s, which is an area I almost think they could go down to the 20s and it wouldn't bother me whatsoever. But if you're going to be off-grid for an extended time, especially if you're going to be running the furnace, it is nice to have that extra kind of fuel there available for you. Or if you find a time where filling your propane tanks is a little bit cheaper, like the gas store has a special or something like that, it's nice to be able to have a little bit more there that you bought a little bit cheaper and hold on to it. Down here, we're taking a look at those power stabilizers that they've had for a couple years. Notice how they really run that bracket down. My only worry with that, it's nice that the leg doesn't have quite so much run time, but my only worry with that is if it hangs down a little too far for towing. Usually stuff hanging down a little further in the front is less of a concern than in the back, and I don't have data. I don't know if that's going to be a real-world problem or not. I just want to point that out. Maybe in your specific instance, that might be something to consider. Now, to maximize the awning space, the pass-through baggage compartment is a little bit of a dog leg left. And I know that's a little awkward to get to, but the good news, you can get around that, because you can also just lift up the sofa inside and get to everything in that pass-through compartment as well. So you do have an A-B option. If some cargo shifts to where it's a little bit tricky for you to reach, you can still get yourself there. And again, they did maximize that patio awning space. They still got, you're watching RV manufacturers do some funny things, like some of them are starting to peel out little things like awning lights that they, when you shop for an RV, a lot of times they don't have power when they're at the dealer a lot. You don't realize they're missing something. Well, You can see right there, I actually remember to light them up this time. This still has those. They've stuck with the stable steps. They have not decontented, as is really the heavy trend in the RV industry this year. Like, they stuck with the Goodyear tires. They stuck with the TPMS system that they've done for a while now. And they have stuck with that better handling and riding torsion suspension package. And if you're not familiar with that thing, towing is believing is the best way I can say it. And it is still including the griddle, but here at this display space, I don't know where it got pulled out and squirreled away. I couldn't find it. So it comes with a griddle. What's funny is it comes with a double cookerator kind of situation where you've got the griddle and a little pull-out grill over here. But what if you didn't want this? It's standard. It's not optional, so you can't like request it be gone. But it's literally just a drawer that has a stove in it. You could remove that and have 2 shelves plus your outside fridge over there. And this is one of the other really clutch details with them, because they are running that inverter package. That fridge actually runs in transit. So even though this RV has, pretty good travel stop road mode access, maybe, you don't have to worry about that. Or, you're going to be dry camping. Maybe you want to be able to stop out there, get a drink. And having a full hot, cold outside utility shower over here is one of those really handy dandy features. On the back, some brands do a bumper. Some brands do a hitch. Rockwood does both, because they think that and is better than or. This is a 6-sided aluminum constructed product, meaning the roof, the walls, the front and the rear, the floor, they're all an aluminum cage. Your walls are all laminated with Asdel on the inside and outside layers. Your roof is fully walkable, as you're about to see in just a minute here. Your floor is the only thing that's not laminated, but that's plywood decked. 5/8 tongue and groove plywood flooring, which weighs more, but it's also stronger, and you don't got to worry about maybe developing soft spots over time. And like I said, fully walkable roof, and I'm up and down on a lot of RVs. I'm on a lot of RV roofing. Rockwood Flagstaff Roofing has the least amount of flex under my dad bod feet of anything I've ever personally walked on. It is the most sturdy, solid feeling underfoot. I think it has the least amount of flex and deflection, and I think that that's one of the reasons that, generally speaking, these things seem to hold up pretty darn well, because they're not twisting and shouting, rolling down the road like some weird wobbly box or whatever. Now we're looking at the absolute standard package on the roof, which is a 200-watt solar panel. And anywhere that you see those Max Air fans, you get those big roof vent covers straight from the factory. Those are things that we could, let's say you're looking at brand X, Y, or Z that's not a Rockstaff, that doesn't have those. Typically, we can add those things, I don't know, $75 a pop. I'm shooting from the hip. I don't even know if that's accurate or not. You could probably do it a little cheaper, yourself, DIY at home. But now it's just done from the factory. It's warranted from the factory. That's cool stuff, man. So like I said, there are a lot of builders making floor plans like this, and I happen to know a guy that has full video walkthroughs of nearly all of them that are out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you a bunch of links in the video description where, one, you can check for pricing and availability if we have one of these in stock at any of our stores. And if we're sold out, call our team. If our website says we don't have anything on there, call our team. We'll get you some. And I'm going to leave you links to the other people who make this. If you are willing, watch a couple of those, and on this video or that video or any of them, leave a comment. Let me know which one you would go with and why would you choose to go that one versus this one or whichever one. And until next time, if you like what we're doing for you, hit that subscribe button. And take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.